Hi YouTube fans, buddies, anybody else who's watching this. This is Tanya, and I am going to do a cooking demonstration. No, I'm going to make a shake, basically. But this is what I eat on a regular basis. I have my protein shakes 2 times a day. I know that people, the doctors locally, the support group that I attend, do not encourage protein shakes. In my opinion, there is no way to get in the amount of protein you should have per day after having gastric bypass without eating a protein shake every day. Unless you have stretched your pouch so much that you can eat a big, huge chunk of meat several times a day, then I don't see how you can physically get in the protein you need. So I rely a lot on protein shakes. I sell them on my website, Life It Not Diet. I primarily use nectar shakes because the great thing about nectar shakes is there is no carbs, there are 25 grams of protein in here, and there's no fat. So, you know, it never has caused me to dump. They taste as sweet as can be. The nectar sweet chocolate truffle is very sweet. Sometimes I have to almost tone it down a little bit. But in this one that I'm going to be showing you today, there are some carbs. So if you dump I usually have a horrible feeling at about 18 carbs per serving. So the only thing that I'm going to have in mind today, I have, I don't know if you can see it on here, I have the almond milk, and I drink several varieties of it. This is the silk one. I like a lot of them. I'm not going to, a Blue Diamond's good. Basically, I get whichever one I have a coupon for. But this one in particular has 7 grams of sugars in it, a total of 8 carbs, and only 1 gram of protein. It has a whole 60 calories. If you look at a regular thing of milk, regular milk, it has 13, that's a 1%, 13 grams of sugars and has 100 calories. So to me, this is better than drinking regular milk if I'm trying to watch what carbs they put in it. Now, the other thing I'm going to be putting in my shake today, because I'm making a chocolate and banana protein shake, is frozen bananas. And what I do is I go to the grocery store, and these are getting a little ripe, so I'm going to be putting them in soon. I take a banana, I peel it, break it in half, and put it in a Ziploc baggie and put it in the freezer. Reason I do this is because I can make a thicker, tastier shake using frozen fruit than just ice cubes. Now I will put some ice cubes in my shake, but what I usually like to do is use the bananas a lot. So basically, I will put a cup of milk in my mixer. I use the Fit and Fresh. You can get that on my website too. You can also try one of the local vitamin shops. Sometimes I use a half a banana, sometimes I use a whole banana. Today I'm going to use a whole banana. If I mix it with any other carbs, any other kind of fruit, I only use a half. And again, gauge how well your body does with the carbs. So I put in a whole banana, and then the only thing left that I do is put in, I'm sorry you can only either see me or this, but it's kind of the way I propped the camera today. I put in 1 scoop of protein. And then I'm just going to put a couple of ice cubes on the top. I always put them in last because if they're on the top, they never get there right. And I'm going to put on my shaker lid. Okay? Just like that. So here's my shaker cup full. And between you and me, it will take me an hour to drink this drink. And I am 10 months into my surgery, since my surgery. Let's see. I had my surgery on September 23rd. And it is August 12th. So in a month and a half it will be 12 months. Before I mix this, I went to the endocrinologist the other day, the local endocrinologist who suggested that I have this surgery. And he, I ended up going to Mexico to get it done. But he's the one who really kind of talked me into it. I was on insulin that was 5 times normal strength. So basically, when you look at, I was using about 20 units of 5 times strength. I was on 100 units of regular insulin a day, hooked up to an insulin pump. The day I had my surgery, I was no longer on insulin pump. About a month after the surgery, when I started on solid food, I did have to go on about 1 needle a day, and I did that for a couple months until my weight came down. And it's been about 3 or 4 months, and I've been completely off insulin. I was on 1 metformin a day, and I just had my A1C tested, and it is about the same, but my doctor was thinking that the metformin wasn't doing a whole lot, so he put me on another pill, Januvia. So we're going to try a Januvia to see if that helps my body. One of the things that he mentioned that I thought was interesting is because our food doesn't digest through our stomach, goes into the pouch, when it hits our system, it hits it really quick. Anybody who's drank alcohol will know what I'm talking about. But apparently it does the same thing with the sugars. So according to him, the A1Cs are kind of really misleading because it hits your system so fast. Any of the sugars, anybody who's dumped will know this too. It hits your system so fast and it spikes up to like 300, and then you kind of come back down, or at least your blood sugar levels do. So what happens is your A1C is kind of misleading because it's showing these huge spikes that you're getting after you eat some of the carbs. So he was hoping Januvia would kind of help with the spikes, but he really wasn't that concerned. And his only other thing that he mentioned to me was that I've lost a little more weight than he really expected. Now I was 231 when I had the surgery, and I am about 140 now. So basically I've lost 90 pounds. And he had said that he thought when I first came to him and he was talking about the surgery that I'd lose 75, maybe 80 pounds. He didn't expect me to lose this much. And his thing was, you can start eating, Tanya. And I'm like, no, I eat. I don't not eat. I eat whatever my body will hold. I'm not dieting. I don't. Right now, hot as it is outside, I don't even exercise. But, except for jumping in the pool occasionally. But his thing was he was a little surprised at the amount of weight I had lost, and I'll try to do a full body shot in a second. But let me show you this blender. I'm going to take this camera down, so excuse me. If you're going to get a weird shot of me now. But I'm trying to undo the stand. And I'm going to put this around. And this is my Fit and Fresh, and this is the one I bought back in August 2009, so I've had it a year. I use it twice a day, and the thing is still going. I'm sorry, I paid $20 for this thing, and it is still going. So, best piece of equipment in my kitchen. By the way, instead of these big containers, what I do when I get my nectars is I actually break them down into these containers. So all of these lined up are my different flavors of nectars. I have Crystal Sky, which is like a fruit punch. I have lemonade, which tastes just like you're drinking a lemonade. I have Fuzzy Navel. You can pretend you are drinking a tropical drink. And I have a plain that can be added to basically anything, and you won't even know there's really protein in there, except that it's a tidbit thicker. So this is my shake, and it's done. That's it. It took a couple of seconds to throw that stuff in. I definitely talked more than it took to make this shake.